What up, everybody? It's Amzai, and we're finally back. We've been away for a little bit, but we're doing something a little bit different. We're doing podcasts and show takeovers, meaning I'm going to be bringing in different groups of shows and podcasts, whether they be locally or in the region. They're going to come take over my show because I got tired of writing shows, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to be a part of whatever conversation that they were originally going to have on their show. We're going to have it tonight. So we're going to be talking about a wide variety of things and getting to it. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce the first people I reached out to be a part of this takeover series of my show, The Sam Pluto Show, exclusively on VodPod Media. Make sure to like and subscribe to VodPod Media on Facebook and YouTube. And boom, today we have the WellYouAsked podcast. Two of the three. Make some noise.
You know what I'm saying? We up
Make
in
some
here.
noise.
Hey.
Make some noise for Mazilla, and we got D live at 5 in the building, man. So how y'all doing today, man? And thank y'all for doing this. First of all, they checking their lives, make sure we get stuff, make sure we share the live. Go ahead and do that. How y'all doing today? Thank y'all for doing this. So
I'm good. All
right, cool.
Little tired,
D, how
but
you
I'm
feeling?
good.
I'm feeling good, man.
Man, we got a wide range of
Great,
things to
good,
talk
good.
about tonight. But before we do, let's talk about y'all's podcast and
How we the best?
how y'all the best, and what y'all got going on with the podcast, and what's in store for the future for the WellYouAsked podcast.
Well, it's three of us, so shout out to our
T1,
our
hold it
other
down,
co-host,
watching the
T1.
kids.
Hold it down.
That's
POP.
the other enforcer of the podcast. But yeah, basically, we pride ourselves on bringing the topics that's kind of edgy. I guess you can say controversial a little, but we tend to try to talk about stuff that we are kind of knowledgeable about, versus getting on here.
Kind of knowledgeable.
Yeah, like we got some kind of knowledge on it. Like,
Okay.
sometimes like if we talk about, I think somebody has said we don't talk about
Mental health.
mental
And
health
financial.
or finances, right? So I'm like, yeah, we can, but we're not experts in credit repair or nothing like that.
So,
So
we don't
it's
mind
so
bringing
much
someone
we
on
can-
to talk about it, but we're not going to personally talk about it because that's not our expertise.
Right.
And then when we asked them, have you tuned into our podcast to see if we talk about it, they said no. So that was another story.
Yeah,
But it was just one person. So
It was, but yeah.
yeah,
Go
but yeah. So we try to pride ourselves on doing that, but we also pride ourselves on including other podcasts. So when we do our podcast events,
yeah.
we tend to bring out other podcasters to share the platform because it's basically cross promoting if you
Yeah,
you look
absolutely.
at it that way. So
It's business 101.
right,
Sounds like.
Exactly.
our audience can view yours, your audience can view ours, and so forth and so forth. So we did like how many? Four.
This will be our fifth one coming up soon
Yeah,
in
they-
March.
and they've grown.
We got
you
some
know.
surprises coming for that one. That's gonna be dope. We'll
Yeah.
give you the theme, rep your clicks,
yeah,
so
rep
like
your
rep your
click.
podcast. Because last time was grown and sexy. We had you
Right.
dress up, but this time you can dress down in your jerseys, your t-shirts,
White tees.
white
Right.
tees.
How we
Rep
do?
your click,
Tall tees,
tall tees
all
of the
that.
2000s back in the day where they wore the bandanas and the hats. No,
Man.
the fabulous
Dipset,
Stay
style.
flow, you heard?
Dipset.
Just said the long, jerseys for no reason.
we got that coming.
That's dope.
We
So-
also got a game night.
Okay.
We getting together a game night. It's gonna be a twist though to the game night.
Exactly.
You would
So
like it.
Okay.
You would love
You
it
would
too.
like twisted shit, kind of.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just watching your games. Yeah,
Yeah.
you would like it.
Okay, cool. So that's the story. So I know I know we talked about it off air, but y'all have a date for either one of the events?
Not yet.
Not
We're
yet.
thinking beginning March area. We'll
Yeah,
let you know. Hopefully by the end of
Yeah,
this
March-ish.
week.
Because
the
we're trying to
exact
find
date.
a venue.
Like we have a
that's
location. We
good.
just got to book it down and go visit it, and make
Right.
sure it's all A1s, day one.
Cool.
So and then game night, we trying to have it at the Bobby Jordan Center where we record.
Right.
So we feel like that'd be dope
Like in
for
the
y'all
gym or
to.
something like that, or that little lounge?
It's like they got
Yeah.
like a little
Cafeteria.
open.
Yeah, they have
a little open.
They have
area
like
right
two
there.
open spaces we can use. So we're gonna try to do that too.
Yeah, and they already got chairs and stuff, so that's less
Cool.
stuff we gotta rent and all that. So
I'm excited for that.
yeah. The game night is
Exactly.
The game night is gonna be legit. Initially, I had told him we wanted you to be a part of it, we was thinking about here, but it's not enough. It's not enough
not
space.
enough space.
But we did want you to be a part of it.
The other
Eventually,
game night. No, a different game night.
It was a different game night. It's not the one we
the
had
couples.
now.
Yeah, the
It was-
couples one that we talked
yes.
about. We're still gonna do that, but like I said, when you're married, you can't just get up and go.
Nah.
So I'm happy that I'm single for now. But
Shout out to everybody that's married, right?
Yeah.
But if you single, my number is 2. No, I'm
Getting those
joking.
tax breaks, it's good.
So, like I
I'll
said,
claim one of y'all
guys,
kids.
we're doing a Well You Asked podcast takeover. So I'm going to be a guest on my own show. So I'm going to let them lead the way on the conversation, and I'll chime in and be actively a part of the conversation as well. But they sent there some pretty cool topics that we're going to go everything, right? So we're going to make sure we get our points across and talk about everything in its entirety, and then we'll kind of keep going on with some of the topics they had in mind to talk about. So without further ado, take over.
All right. So, well, first let's do our intro. How we do?
You really want to do
that?
the
Yeah, yeah. Because we got
They got
tea.
spray
We can
paint
do
on
it.
my shit right now. They tagging my shit right now. Like,
Okay. Yo, it should go DJ Baby Blue Diamond.
Man, it's your boy D, aka Mr. Live at 5 himself.
And it's your fella.
It's your fella.
T1.
And we
this
are
other-
the
Where
Live
you-
and Pod.
Where
I'm
you
finna
at?
say live. I'm finna say Live and Pod Studios. My
you're
bad.
fired.
My
You're
bad. I've been
fired.
working in the studio,
With his podcast.
Yeah,
And we are
so-
the Where You
Where You
Ask
Ask
podcast.
podcast. And I ain't gonna say, 'cause I don't know if y'all do the I cuss. I kind of cuss a lot. Not a
Man,
lot,
fuck outta
but
here. We cuss a lot over here.
okay. So, but usually when she say that, I usually be like, "Beep." They never notice I said.
Yeah,
though.
no, we do. We just
I be
don't
like,
say nothing.
"Beep."
You feel like I should say that at the end of everything.
But yeah, so without further ado, man, let's get into these topics. It's gonna be it's probably a little bit. I ain't gonna say edgy, but I don't know a lot of people that really be talking about these type of topics. But before we start, it's been a minute. So on a scale of 1 to 10, mental health wise, what would you put yourself right now?
1 being 10
Yeah.
being the greatest.
1 being we need to call Dr. Phil, set up something. 10 being
No, not Dr. Phil. Ayana fixed my life.
okay. We
It's
can do
Black
that.
History Month.
We could do
I'm
that.
like a 5.8.
5.8.
Yeah.
That's not. See, that's. I always say I'm teetering on between a 6 and a 7. I'm always teetering between a 6 because it can always be
5 is in the middle. Why are you a 5? You don't mind me asking.
Yeah, well, if you round up, I'm kind of a 6.
Yeah, he did.
I'm a 5.8. So I'm a little bit above the middle, but
I don't know. The way you said that just made me seem like someone called you a 9.5. If you round it up, I'm a dime.
Yeah, I'm a
That's
dime.
the way you said it.
Technically,
basic math.
Basically, I'm a dime.
Nah, just juggling it all.
Yeah, being busy.
Yeah, being busy. Thinking about the fam constantly and
Right.
the future. All that stuff like that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I'm not in a bad space mentally, like depression like that. It's just
Right.
jitters of the mind, and just outlook of the future and all these
trying to get
different
everything
projects in
done.
place. That
Yeah.
closing deals, trying to close deals, and so
Oh yeah.
that's all.
Yeah. I always say 6. I'm about a 6 or 7. I'll never say 10. If you say a 10, I'm concerned. A 10 and a 1, I'm concerned.
No, facts.
'Cause why are you a 10?
Yeah.
Well, unless you're a 10 for that day.
Yeah, you could be 10 for a day, but it's
Yeah, but if you're
like
talking about in
overall,
general,
like
yeah, you're
overall,
right.
Yeah,
I'm about
you
to
could be
5,
10
6,
for a day.
7 right now.
Because I was a 10 when my kids was born. Like that was like
sure.
Yeah.
a
You
10
think about
10
nothing
day.
else.
And then once
But
they
then the next
started
day
walking,
I went back. It went back. You like
Then once they
"Damn."
started walking, you were like,
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Definitely a
Okay, yeah.
5 after that.
He has a
But
son.
you said 5, 6, 7. That's what she
Yeah.
said. I'm
Yeah,
at a 5,
she-
6, 7. Like,
I'm
okay.
a 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
You going up and down.
I work
Yo, where you
with
at?
kids, so
Imagine having them.
The
at your
joy
house.
of the world, huh?
I know from pre-K 3 up to 5th graders, man. You get to see it
Imagine
all.
leaving home.
You get to see the
and going
unpotty
home to 'em.
train, and you get to see the 5th grades when they going through their phases of the. I'm about to be a middle schooler. You can't tell me what to do. Drama
Shouts out to the
type.
educators. Shouts out to the
Yeah,
educators
shout out to
around
all
the
the
world.
educators, man. Shout
You
out
guys
to
the
my-
ones in
deserve more
between.
money.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to my wife, man. She's in the
Oh,
education
yeah.
field.
Your
So.
My
wife.
wife is educated.
D Jones too.
Yo, yeah, D Jones,
Jones, shout out to D.
education.
Your
field.
wife is
deserve
too?
it all. Yeah.
Shout out to your wife.
At a,
Okay.
at a child center though, but yeah.
Still,
Still, man.
Okay.
but
Thanks for asking though.
yeah, we
try to do that.
We try to do that a lot because
especially at a live podcast.
Yeah, the
event,
live
we wanna
podcast.
Check
We try
in
to-
on people.
yeah, we did that. We went around, asked people, because you never know what people are going through.
Never.
And you asking might just help them.
Right, and then the stuff that we talk about that probably can shed some insight on something that they. That's why we talk about the stuff that's not necessarily deemed. It's not openly talked about a lot.
Oh,
So,
it's not like the trending topic.
Right.
necessarily.
So some of those topics they got to do with like mental health. Like a lot of us are not comfortable with talking about mental health. You know, we never grew up with somebody caring mentally how we are.
Especially for men.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, especially for men. So that's one of the key things that we ask. And plus, I had a incident where my mom went through like a whole thing with her mental health. So that was just like, dang, because you see the people, and they seem
smiling.
like they got it strong and they're going, and then one day they just like hit rock bottom, and you like, what's going on?
I thought
Like,
you had it together.
right. So it be the strongest ones, the ones that smiling. Those usually be the ones that's going through it. So
Of course.
but
What y'all should do going forward, just to add to what you were saying, is when y'all are doing those mental health kind of check-ins on your show, maybe adding a resource or a number.
right.
So I
Right.
remember it was a previous show. Somebody shared something that was really close to them about SA, like sexual assault.
Yeah.
And I always, if I have my computer in front of me, I usually like to hurry up and really quickly provide a resource.
Right,
So I'll
right.
look for whether
Oh,
it be
yeah, that's
domestic
good.
violence or
I like that.
I just Google it real quick, and then I look up the national hotline and make sure to say it on the live stream. If somebody
Right,
says
right.
something
Because
like
somebody
that.
else might be also.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's true. Yeah, we're gonna have to start doing that. We might, if we can, we might have to get in touch with some of those people and bring them on.
That'd be dope.
Actually
I
talk
like
about that live on air. Whoever's tuning in that might just be the day. Let me check out and see what they talking about
Yeah,
on here, and
might be the
boom,
day.
you know what I'm saying? So,
You never know.
but so first topic
Okay,
of many.
get to it.
Oh Lord.
So, what are y'all thoughts? And I seen this. I think this still happens today, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But your
In
thoughts
some
on
cultures.
some cultures, arranged marriages.
Okay.
You think that's
Should that still be a thing?
yeah? Should that still be
Or
a
should
thing?
we like get rid of that?
Westernized?
But you said
But-
you kind of said it at the beginning, at the intro, in certain groups and cultures still practice that. So, yeah, if they feel like that should still be a thing,
What
You
do
know,
you think
in
it
that
will
particular-
work? Do you see that it being able to like work out? Especially the reason why I asked
For
about
love.
arranged marriages, because for some reason we can't get we picking our own spouses. We can't get it together.
yeah, maybe not like being suited. Maybe not here in a Western, society that we're
Right.
in. It may not. It's just so many different things going on at once, culturally and just ideology and perspective wise. But I mean, arranged marriages. I'm not gonna say I have necessarily nothing against it. For certain cultures that practice that, my only thing is just like, I hopefully there's something in most cultures, age restriction wise, or
Right.
like,
Yeah.
protection wise. When I think of different cultures and what they practice and do, the first thing that comes to my mind is safety. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hopefully there's some type of bylaw or law that says like, okay, we do this here, but hey, there's some restrictions. Goddamn it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't want to be having a 26-year-old, 27-year-old marrying the
Right.
14.
Because in
15-year-old.
America, there's some religious groups that like marry children, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? In this country, and they having babies with these kids,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So, and it's just too much, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But,
I've a reason why I seen on social media, it was a couple that they was arranged from where they was from. It was I can't but think of what country in Africa it was, but they got set up there,
Yeah.
and it was fine there, but they moved here,
Okay.
and it became an issue. But like you say,
That's-
it's
Issue
different.
by law or just
No, an
issue?
issue with like it's a lot of stuff you get exposed to here versus over
You
there.
probably saw a big booty chick and was like,
I mean, you in the motherland. I'm
this
pretty
ain't
sure
it.
that is definitely there.
he saw a Becky. He got that Becky and was
Oh,
like,
Lord,
you know,
no.
Oh,
no,
no.
I'm joking. But isn't that what 90 Day Fiance kind of is, sort of?
Huh?
But 90
90 Day
days they
Fiancé?
set you up.
I mean, yeah, but a 90 Day Fiance, I think
Then
you're
at the
going
end,
like,
you get to
oh no,
decide-
that is like almost.
Yeah, you don't get to see who you're marrying. You
But-
marry
but-
that
but-
person
but
for
it's
90
so-
days, and then at the end, you get to decide if y'all want to stay married or not.
Yeah, I think
That's kinda
arranged
like-
marriages
fake.
though. Is,
That's
yeah,
also-
it's Tell
It
her.
is reality TV too, but still, them setting you up is not fake. The only part that's fake is like the drama that y'all kind of go through a little bit. But
I think with the
them setting
arranged
you up-
marriages, how they had it, it was more fitting for like royal families.
Yeah.
So you might not know who this person is. It's just
That's true, too.
the king and the king talked.
Yeah.
Let's
From thousands of years ago to
Right.
now, it's almost been always a business decision.
business decisions.
Yeah.
You
basically.
know, and then the people that are like, fuck, man, I can't make any decisions around this bitch are usually the kids.
Yeah.
Like, or the young
but over there
adults.
too, they have more stuff to barter with. What are we gonna barter with?
Yeah, I think over there their marriage is
It's
totally
more like
different.
a
was
like
just
I can give you
can-
corn, I can give you gold.
Right. Yeah.
Down
it
here,
was-
it's like, what we gonna give you?
And
I'll give you my apartment bedroom.
Yeah, but I mean, kind of like in America, though, there are some, wealthy families that have remained close to each other since the beginning of time.
Yeah,
in
and
this
they
country.
marry each. Yeah, that's
since the
yeah.
beginning of time. Some
Yeah, I think
wealthier families.
if
But
I'm not
I don't
mistaken,
know-
the royal families they still do that. Some of them even if it come to a point, I think some of them do incest just to keep
That's why they ain't like
that
Meghan
royal
Markle.
that royal.
She wasn't
'cause
part of the royal.
That's why. What's the dude name that just married? That married the black chick,
Mary
Prince.
Yeah, Prince Harry.
Yeah, him.
That's why they don't like,
that-
Meghan Markle because she
Well, that's
wasn't part of the
yeah,
royal.
because like you're what are you doing? Like
They ain't like the cocoa butter around the house.
I don't even. I mean, yeah, because she was black, but I think even if she was like Hispanic or anything besides what they wanted, it was
Yeah.
gonna be an issue. It didn't matter.
But they
who-
have.
it's
and
just
it's crazy because they have black in their family down the line.
yeah, but
They just don't
you
want to
know,
talk about it.
Of course, that's.
They tryna
I
hide
think everybody's family tree has a Roscoe in it somewhere. It's a
Roscoe.
Roscoe in there. Yeah,
He said, "Yeah, hey, what
A
Jerome?"
day day.
at?
They got a day day.
It's a Jerome in
There's
there
a day-day
somewhere.
somewhere.
Yeah. You be
There's some
looking at the family
peaches.
tree, be like, "Hey, who is Roscoe?" They be like, "We don't talk about Roscoe."
Who's
We
Peaches?
don't talk about Ross.
Who's Peaches? Day day and
Almost like
Roscoe?
Bruno on
Who's
what's
Bruno?
that movie? Encanto.
Oh,
Encanto.
Canto. We don't
It's
talk
almost like
about
Bruno. So
We
yeah,
don't talk about
but
Peaches.
I was just thinking that because when you I was wondering if celebrities do this. Do you think they do this? Like the celebrities we have now, do they try to set their kids up with?
Absolutely.
'Cause
They
isn't
try to
somebody
suit
right
them
now
They
getting
try to
married?
suit them. They
Right,
try
right.
to, see if there's like something that happens between.
Yeah.
To be honest, like some people out here around the globe forcing their kids, forcing this, and some people just kind of like, y'all go do something, see what happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Especially if they grew up around each other, they might just end up having
Yeah.
feelings, and then it might work out, it might not.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
It's a legacy thing, man. It's
really is.
crazy, and I mean, all ethnicities all groups across the planet since the beginning of time has practiced some type of Game
Yeah.
of Thrones type shit.
yeah,
man.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I
The
agree. Definitely agree
Egyptians,
with
I
that.
mean, they were like that shit was all it just fucking. It was just, you know what I mean? A lot of groups, the thing is, over time we adapt different,
Ideologies.
and
Yeah.
zeitgeist, and you know what I mean. Like
Right.
this is the general norms of the time. You
But
know
just
what I mean?
imagine you found a love of your life. You like, you know what? We're gonna get married. She like, before I say I do, you gotta pass Survivor. Are you still going for it, or you be like, you know what? I might
like
have found
Survivor
somebody
series,
else.
like one
In
of those
general,
shows?
yeah, you gotta fight. Or like Amazing Ways. She's like, before I say I do, you gotta survive
That's funny
Amazing
because
Ways,
I just seen
and
a
then buy me
post-
the ring.
I just seen a post of this.
It is like,
I don't know if she. I'm just gonna say Asian. That would be the right thing, right? Besides calling them a Chinese,
Yeah,
Japanese,
I would say
Asian.
so.
So it was an Asian lady that swam, whichever word you want to use.
I did see that.
I forgot how far she was, but it was far. She
for her man.
yeah,
Yeah, I did see that.
to get married to this dude that she met on social
You
media.
think men are doing the same thing?
Nah, hell no.
Hell no.
Nah.
And I'm catching Uber.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, let me get on
maybe
this.
a Uber, a
Let me get on
train,
this
I'm about
ferry.
to-
Well, that's how it really is on
Get
those
on this
90 Day
ferry.
Fiancé shows and stuff. Like, or not just that too. What was it Love Abroad and all these shows? They thinking they marrying a prince, a king, and then when they get there, it's like, oh, so you don't have a job? You live in a shack?
Right. Yeah, I think that's why I was thinking about the celebrities because they don't want they trying to like their kid is their asset
Yeah.
really. So they don't want them to be passing on wealth to their kid and then their kid, especially their daughter, is marrying this dude that is
A bum.
Yeah, a bum. You know, he
bum.
plays Fortnite and he doesn't get paid for it.
Exactly.
See, and that's the thing. It's ultimately it can be a really dark business decision.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, fact of the matter is this it happens and it's dark and it's dangerous and
Exactly.
it's like they think it's some type of legacy thing, disregarding feelings. Like it's just a lot, man. And I can see, it's kind of weird because you can see how some cultures and groups thought like, okay, if we do like my wealth can't go to a fucking peasant, like
Right.
Yeah.
So, but I know my kid like this person, this peasant, but I don't want my shit to go to this fucking, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just doomed, man. But
It is.
and again, like we know, it's still practiced today.
Right.
And I wouldn't even say it's probably as dark as it is today as dark as it was then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they kept up the same thing because a lot of those the countries in Africa, those villages, they not out here on TikTok and stuff.
Nope.
Not like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
you know, they not getting exposed to this.
world.
Like, yeah, you know, like women over there is not getting exposed to all the freedoms that the women have here. Imagine them seeing that, they like, why would I do that when I can just go over to America and I can do what I want?
But just think about it. Who knows? Shit in America might change, you know, because it wasn't too long ago there was a Supreme Court case called Loving versus Virginia.
Yeah.
I heard
You know what
about
I'm
that.
saying? Where it was like, you know, a black woman
And a
fell
black-
in love with a
white-
they
A
fell in
black
love
man,
together.
Fell in love with a white woman.
White woman, white man,
Yeah.
fell in love, and it took this a Supreme Court case to be like, okay, these colors and whites can, you know,
They can mix and
Exactly.
mingle.
but you see the way the general dynamic in culture is now with the way things are kind of going, and you know, young girls don't have as many rights as they did 50 years ago. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So who knows what's next?
You never
We
know.
know they hate the gays, the trans, and they hate this, they
hate
hate the
everybody.
blacks. Like but
Everybody.
They like, you know, what's next? You
They
know,
hate
I know it's kind of
everybody.
like one
I
of
feel
those
like they
things.
hate
Like,
everybody.
You could say, I just love the earth and I wish that, you know, we can appreciate that. And they'll hate you for that.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
Exactly.
nothing hateful that you just said.
like I like Jesus. The fuck out of here! You don't like fucking Jesus. Fuck out of here! You know, is he white Jesus or black Jesus? Which one do you like?
Is you right, Jesus?
Which one?
Yeah.
Well, while we
Jose?
while we speaking of cultures,
Yeah.
this brings us to the next topic of the passport bros. And
Yeah,
it's not
I
just,
don't know what the
and
hell
we
this
about to
is.
tell you what
Give
it is,
me-
but it's not just bros, it's women too.
Is it?
Yes, it really is.
nervous.
It's a
Okay.
big thing, but what it is men and women getting their passport to go overseas to find them a traditional husband and wife that's going to say yes sir, no ma'am, and do the traditional house duties. Men mainly do it for a traditional wife.
Right.
So they go like to Asia or to
I have
Africa.
seen this. Did okay.
Yeah.
I never.
And
I
they
didn't know the name.
get a woman that barely knows English, bring them back, and because you know they're gonna stay home, be the stay-at-home mom, watch the kids, clean, cook, and that's what they want. None of the black women they say that do the sassy talk back, ghetto, they don't want none of that. So that's basically what it is, and they do this a lot. They take trips.
Yeah.
They get their homeboys and say, let's take a trip to Asia. Let's take a trip to China, and that's what they do. That's what the main trip.
But they
Not to
go
have
they
fun,
go to like
to go find them a traditional.
I have
they go to
seen
like
this.
Brazil and
Brazil, all
they're
these
not
places.
necessarily getting
but
like
women are doing it too now. It's
Of
starting.
course.
Women are starting to do it now too to get them a man that's going to treat
But
them
what's weird? The weird part about it is
Okay.
you can scroll on social media. I seen a dude do an experiment, right? He said you can go on I think he said it was TikTok and you put in men hate speech and you get a whole bunch of videos of women saying basically dogging out dudes.
Yeah.
But if you do the opposite, it's not really, they don't really let you make videos like this. Your video is going to get flagged if you get on there and you're talking negative
About a
to a
woman.
certain thing about women. So it's not a thing. So what happened is women labeled these dudes passport bros, not men. Men didn't do that. Men was just doing it. They just started saying, you know what? I can go to Venezuela. I can find me a woman that's ready, that was raised to be a wife.
But I think the issue is not that they're doing it. It's the fact that they are making videos about it and throwing it in your face. Like, I got me, I don't know, I don't want to make up some Asian name, but I got me this girl from Venezuela, Brazil, whatever. She can't speak Spanish, but she's going to cook and clean. You black women aren't going to do the same thing.
Yeah, that's-
so it's
that's
like
the-
throwing it
that's
in
the-
our faces.
Yeah, but
That's
that's
the
not
big
that's
problem.
not because it's always so. no matter what you do, it's always somebody that's doing it to the extreme. Even it's just like religion. You have Christians, and then you have extreme Christians, right? You have Islamic, then you have the extremes. You know, it's always so. You got dudes that's literally trying to find them a wife, not a girl, not a baby mama, but a wife. And they're going to other countries because their traditional values is still upheld. Yeah. They still teaching. The women are seeing their mom and the dad together all these years, and she's seeing this is what I need to do to be a wife. Yeah, it's women now. Women are doing it. They're doing it just because the men are doing it. Yeah,
and I feel like you just gotta find the right person, because there's some women who generally want to be a traditional wife, and then there's some who just come over here for, you get married for a little bit, and I got my green card. I don't need you anymore. Right.
So what is y'all will take on this
I don't phenomenon? My thing is, you can find anyone anywhere. If you find love, you find love. I don't think you need to go out of state or out of the country to generally look for love. But if you just happen to take a trip, a vacation, and you find love, that's different.
Imagine going to another country where women are not saying black men ain't shit, and they actually appreciate you. Imagine that. Like, that's basically what it is. They're going to these, you can see videos, they going to these other countries, and women are like showering them with love. I seen a dude eating at a table, and a woman is like literally like massaging him.
Well, can we be clear? Let's interject finance into this too, because a lot of these countries are very, very poor countries, especially.
So they're looking for a better life too.
Exactly. Yeah. So they like, oh fuck, this could be our way out, family. Like,
you work at McDonald's? That's more than what I got.
Yeah,
definitely. But I know nobody ain't no McDonald's got a passport going over there.
So if a black dude has,
you never know.
You never know.
If an American black guy has traveled all the way over here, they probably would see this guy like, okay, this guy has a little bit of bread.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can just pretend follow. They can be falling.
They taking a chance. Also.
Everybody's falling into the traps,
right?
No matter how it looks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's just kind of foolish to kind of go online to make these videos, because I'm really against the salacious shit. Like, I don't really engage in no conversations when it comes to like talking about black women like degrading. I don't partake in that shit. I don't want to hear none of that shit. I don't want to hear no Fresh and Fits, no Andrew Tate's podcast. I don't listen to none of. I don't even like have conversations like, so what do you think about when black women do? I don't want to. I'm not doing that. No,
exactly,
because there's too much going on. It's like I don't perceive the things that they say as like. It's like a lot of black folks in this country, you know what I'm saying, and across the world, which makes us the global majority. Yeah. And when you think about the word diaspora, that's like all of us being connected everywhere.
Right.
And partnerships across the planet. Yeah. So I don't like to partake in any of those salacious conversations some shows and podcasts do.
Yeah, Fresh and Fit is.
I don't like
Fresh
that
and
shit.
Fit is.
It's stupid.
They're ridiculous.
But I'm specifically talking about black women. Like,
they
See, I didn't get that. They talk about women in general.
Yeah. Right.
And they talk about,
but I heard them say, we don't
date like
diddle in the dark or some darkies or something like that. And I'm like,
I don't like none of
and
that.
See,
shit.
I've never, and although I don't agree with everything Andrew Tate says,
oh boy.
He doesn't. I don't hear him saying black women specifically. He usually generalizes women that are together.
Honestly, like, what the fuck? He probably said some fucking vouch.
Yeah, he may. Chances are he is. Chances are.
I'm just surprised no one's made an app for the passport boys and girls. Like, we have Christian Mingle, we have Black Planet.
Because
I think it's careful because somebody gonna get hit for human trafficking or some shit like that.
It was a dude that went over there. It was a dude that went over there and he vlogged, and he was just showing his experience throughout the time he was there. He came back here and he said he didn't go over there looking. A lot of dudes is not going over there looking for wives per se. They're just going over there for the treatment. Like, they're going over there getting treated.
That's so foolish.
Like they getting treated like
spend thousands of dollars for the treatment.
I mean, if you got
but these
dudes,
the dudes that's going is
they got money. But
they usually like they got some bread on them. Yeah. So they can pay for the experience. So I don't even think necessarily all of them are going for for love, I guess you can say. But The only crazy part about it is that when they was going, and I haven't seen a lot of videos on the dudes that I've seen that's like telling black women like, you ain't shit, this, and this. They just saying, out the relationships that I had, my experience, I haven't had a good experience with black women here in America. So I'm going, because they're not only going to Asia and stuff, they going to Africa, Jamaica.
They going to different countries.
They traveling. They just traveling.
Yeah, they just outside the U.S.
And you know, women, like I say, women values are different elsewhere. You know, so they treat you differently. My cousin told me in the military, when he got, I think he was in Russia, like those women over there like love black men. I'm pretty sure it's borderline fetish, but you know,
of course.
they love black men over there.
Crazy though, like I just think it's so crazy because like it's just wild to me, man. Because some guys just can't, like they just I don't know, they don't have something in them. They can't like they feel lower or lesser because maybe a woman is in a position of power or makes this compared to them, and they feel less dominant. Oh, I'm a shrimp, I'm a coward because my woman can talk like a regular intellectual human being. Like, yo, like this is weird to me, man. Like,
and it was weird.
Generation. That's what it is.
The weird part is that now women,
social media
if women are
age.
doing it, now y'all about to be a part of the same problem.
Like, cause me, I'm convinced. I mean, call me like a dadvocate or a fucking woman convict.
A dadvocate?
I'm definitely a dadvocate though. But like, I'm convinced that like, yo, whatever issues we got going on on a global geopolitical spectrum, men ain't gonna solve this shit, bro. Like, this
Especially not by
bitch is about
itself.
to be over, dude. Like,
It really
I'm
is.
talking about nuclear waste through the lands. We can't breathe air no more. Like, it's just, I'm convinced.
We're gonna have to go live in the water.
I'm convinced this shit is over
Turns
with.
to
Dudes
Aquaman.
continue to run this bitch, man. It's just.
Well, I can honestly say that, you know, for the most part,
these motherfuckers.
we're not running it.
Exactly. Yeah, we
You
not
know,
even know.
so-
The Fortune 500 companies in this bitch are not ran by generally people of color nor the country. So if this bitch does burn down, hey, fuck it, you know. But
Yeah, I mean, every empire has come to an end at some point.
Exactly.
Every big empire. America is
yeah,
an
we young
empire,
as hell
and-
too, but people don't know that.
Right. Yeah, and we've been in war for
We
a
don't
lot
know
of
what
those
peace-
years.
People don't know. We don't know what peace means.
Nah.
We've never been at peace, people. But go ahead.
It's definitely not this. It's definitely this.
Yeah.
Peace or peace? Nah,
Yes,
put
for
your hands
sure.
up. Put your hands up.
Well,
But
I was
what
gonna say
you
while
say?
we talking about the age gap, we can talk about the minimum age.
oh,
I mean,
the wage
gap.
myth
I
Okay,
said
let's get
wage
into this.
myth.
Go
The
ahead. I want to hear what
wage
y'all got to
myth
say about this.
on So I see. So do you think it's a wage discrepancy between men and women?
Absolutely.
And
color too.
well, yeah, I know. Yeah, color definitely. But so, in what fields? So, like example.
I want to say majority. I want to say education. I would not say education because
No, everybody's underpaid in education.
everybody underpaid.
Even if you are getting some money, you probably still underpaid.
So are you putting it like
Corporate levels, executives, lawyers. I feel like lawyers.
C-suite, you know, when it comes to like those higher executive positions of
Yeah.
for
Exactly.
So, like
People who work at law firms.
So I've seen this brought up. I want to see what y'all think. So a lot of the jobs that men do, I'll say, so women go to school. I would say black women go to school and graduate more than any demographic, right?
They're
Just
like one
about.
of the highest
Yeah.
growing rates.
But what jobs are they getting with these degrees?
I've heard this talking point before. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just curious because I heard the talking point before too, and I just found it interesting. Okay, yeah, nursing is a big field, but like it's not a lot of women in construction.
Yeah, see, that's something like, so we were comparing like the physicality jobs versus.
Yeah, so if you say lawyer or what'd you say, exec,
Yeah,
or
C-suite,
something like
the
that,
C-suite.
yeah, I would see that because I think it was a whole thing about women, especially women of color. That's just a whole.
That's what we talking. That's
just a whole nother
that's what we
thing
talking
right
about
there.
then. Not like the physical jobs, like trash man or fucking.
Right.
Yeah.
We talking about like these high level jobs that could really move some shit in countries. You know what I'm saying? Or domestically or regionally. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Even would we even go to like presidential?
I'm not sure.
You
You
would
would
think
these
you-
folks got bread. You know what I'm saying?
But
So-
isn't presidential salary like set?
Yeah.
Each,
Yeah, but
I'm
It's
not
set
even
for each
sure.
one.
Probably.
so it doesn't matter if a male, woman, black, white. I think their salary
it is a salary
set.
base for
Yeah,
the president,
it's
but
set.
most of them still generate so much money outside of the salary. they
Yeah,
just
doing
give
other
away.
stuff.
Like
but-
I mean, cause I'm pretty sure like they write books and
Yeah, that
memoirs
stuff.
and
Yeah.
all that stuff. I kind of think of it like I would say I just got hipped on it with pastors. A lot of pastors that make a lot of money.
Yeah.
They also write a lot of books.
Yeah.
and
Lots of
stuff
books,
too. So that's a
speeches,
lot.
they
Right, they get
people
paid for speeches.
100,000,
Right.
50,000 for just talking a couple minutes. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
because
saying?
I was just like, what? Like, why are y'all? How are these pastors
jets.
this rich?
Prosper
Yeah.
preachers.
Right. That was just one of the
Amen.
things that
the
just
BS
was like,
relationship books.
yeah, what's the dude in Houston? Joel Osteen.
Osteen.
And
Yep.
then
Prosperity
Creflo,
Well, not just that too. Jamal Bryant. Remember I sent you a video with T.I.
Yeah, I
in
saw
his
Jamal
experience.
Jamal Bryant. That's the
in
he was
Atlanta, right?
married to a
That housewife.
housewife. Okay,
Mhm.
yeah.
When
Oh, T.I. did say that.
He said that he liked the fact that he's told people like to give like 1,000, 20 people to give $1,000. Don't you want to get your blessing from the Lord? You better give your money.
I hate it.
And he was like, if you would have said this is for the community outreach, I would have donated. But
I hate
you
that.
telling me that God is not going to get my blessing? I'm not going to get a blessing from God unless I get $1,000. Get out of here.
They do it too, but I mean,
They do.
So, but
But it's up to you to give too. If you ain't got it, you ain't got it.
Yeah, you
Don't
got
let
it.
nobody pressure you. You gonna be the one can't make your rent.
Amen. If the broke people can leave the church, amen.
Man,
Don't let the
there are
donation
some
on the way
pastors
out.
who will call people out.
Yeah,
I've seen
that's what I'm
videos
saying.
where pastors
ATMs,
call you
I've seen-
out.
I've seen
I
churches
seen a
that
video
got
where this
ATMs
couple
in
was
them.
supposed to get married, but they missed like 2 services for whatever reason. They said, "You trying to get married in my church and you missing services?" Like
You going to hell if you didn't tie. You going to hell because you didn't
pastors
tie.
Oh,
That's
we
the
talked about
extreme.
that too. We talked
Yeah.
about the tithing, what it really means, and all
That's
that.
that's the extreme.
another-
I'm
that's
with it.
another topic.
I'm agnostic, but
Man,
Oh, so the wage gap. I with the executive levels, I could see that being definitely true. But as far as like us average people, I think the playing field. Me personally, I think the playing field is open. Like
so okay. When you say
But-
open and average people, more details.
so, like your everyday 9 to 5 workers.
like
But
your
they still
truck
make
drivers. Your
yeah. I
garbage-
mean, it's a lot of women truck driving now.
Well, that's what I meant. Like, do you mean like the ages?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, stuff like that. Like people who work at HEB.
So
stuff
the
like
physical
that.
work.
Walmart, people that do that. Stuff
yeah,
like
like
that.
the physical work. I think it's jobs. that's
Absolutely.
physical.
Applying for a job, a cashier job at HEB is wide open. But we're talking about as we begin to grow in the company and who gets these looks. I mean, let's just be honest. Women just have to work harder. That's just the end of the story. You know what I'm saying?
Do
to get these
y'all-
potential looks. You know what I'm saying? And all kind of workplace things that goes on historically and statistically in comparison to males, what they got to deal with. It's just a fact. It's like we just pulling shit out of the air right now.
Right,
It's
right.
just data on this,
Yeah.
man. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, if we can both apply, male and female can apply for this cashier, but we want to grow with the company, things begin to get a little hairy. Not saying the woman can't get the position.
This is gonna be harder.
It's just, say if it's 0.5% tougher, but it's just tougher.
It's just
Yeah.
tougher. And
you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
Do y'all feel like these degrees matter anymore?
it depends on what you get a degree in.
Yeah, and
Some
see,
schools I wouldn't even. Some stuff you don't. At this point, some of the things you can learn by just going to a
But I'm just
trade
saying, but does
school
it
or
matter for
something.
you to get hired in general? Like even if you go to a trade school, you still get a certificate.
Because sometimes you get a
Doesn't matter.
degree, you're overqualified.
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
no,
Does it even
so
matter?
I think you did say it. I guess it depends on the position.
The position.
And then also
yeah.
the reason why I asked that too is like for me, I'm back in school to become a teacher, right? But I work at a public school, so you have to have a degree. But sometimes at charter schools, you not necessarily
you don't have
need
to.
that, and they'll hire you to be a teacher. So it makes me
Yeah.
wonder, like, do I stick with the public school and get my degree?
But
or do I
charter
just
schools
go
is
ahead and get-
private though, so I
It
think,
is different, but still, I'm just saying, like, does it matter? That's what it's still, because you're still teaching kids.
Yeah.
So it makes me wonder, does the teacher
Well, me
with the
personally,
degree
I think-
and the teacher without the degree, can they still teach your kid the same? That's what I'm trying to get at.
But also, in your case, you have hundreds of hours under your belt already in that experience. So if somebody has a degree, bachelor's degree in education, right, versus you who is going to school, but they don't have any hours, but you have real time, real life work experience, and you can demonstrate and prove that, then maybe you don't have that degree yet, but you probably already up here in the lab.
Yeah. And then also, too, it makes you wonder, too, because like I said, charter schools tend to just hire anyone. Sometimes they do have degrees. But let's say they got a degree. Let's say they got a law degree. But then it's like, you know what? I want to teach elementary school. I want to teach third grade. And it's like, does your law degree really?
nah.
Was you going to be in there someone saying 1 + 1 is 3? I object.
It looks
It's
good.
2.
It looks good on a
I
resume,
know it looks good.
but
I always
Yeah.
wonder, like, do you feel like that matters in general?
Me, I hate what's going on with
Or
colleges.
if someone becomes a manager, does that matter if they tell you to go back to school? But it's like, I
no,
can do this. I
it
don't need
used
to go back to school.
It used to. Like if you was to be a manager at
Anything.
anything, and you had like an associate degree or something in business management or something that matter. I worked at a warehouse with the example you gave. The supervisor that I had worked at the warehouse for 5 years. They relocated him to a different warehouse and brought another manager in because he had a degree but had no warehouse experience.
It's crazy.
And our warehouse ended up going from rank
And I
number
see that
3
a lot
to
in
like
schools.
15.
Like when people decide to leave the classroom and become like principals, assistant principals, and counselors, and they only been in the classroom for like 2 years, and they feel like, oh yeah, I can run a school. But it's like, but you only taught second grade. You don't know anything about the other grade levels.
And some of those positions require a master's degree.
They do, but I still feel like
Minimum,
you
at
need that
least minimum.
experience. I feel like you can have the degree, but you, like you said, you need that experience
Yes,
too.
I agree with that.
Because the degree is just your name on paper, saying that you went to classes and typed in some essays.
When
when
it's
you
like
have that
with
experience,
it's like that
it's
with
much more.
CDLs. It's like that with CDLs. You can get a CDL, but when you get hired on, when you fill out an application, they're asking you what's your driving experience, like how long. And most companies require you to have at least 8 to 10 months of driving experience. Because you can go pass the test.
But that's another thing that you brought up too. Remember how when you was first trying to get hired somewhere and they need the experience?
Yeah,
but it's like, but I don't have experience.
They needed
but they
9
don't
months.
give me experience.
They needed
So it's
Yeah.
like that at a lot of places. You get these degrees, but it's like, oh yeah, you need experience before we hire you. But no
nobody
one will
will
give me
give you-
experience. So how am I gonna
nobody
gain
give you-
experience?
Yeah, it's all fucked up, man.
It
Like
really
when it comes to
is.
this education.
And the best
shit.
college is YouTube, man. I'm saying it's
YouTube University, I'm
$3.99.
telling you.
Yeah.
A lot of
YouTube
stuff.
University.
It's kind of crazy how much they charging with these for these degrees and then the job. So we have to like right now with my daughter, I always like to see if she's interested in like STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math.
Yeah, that's good.
So because
I thought
when it
you were
comes
about-
to like a lot of
when you
this
said
stuff,
STEM, I thought you were to say stem cell research.
no,
Sir.
but that could be a part of this.
Well, that's part of STEM too, but still.
I'm about to say, dang.
Nah, but cause when we think about the trajectory of where we're going right now, it's kind of spooky. But we already knew
definitely.
this was coming up, so we really got to start really Unfortunately, maybe we didn't like math, but we really have to push our kids into math.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
things that we thought that didn't matter when we were
Mm-hmm.
quadratic formula, but that shit is mattering now because a lot of things have
technology.
been hidden in algebra, right? Which we're discovering as we get older. It's like, oh shit, like when it comes to this chat GPT and AI and
AI
all
is
of this,
definitely-
so for our kids to have a job forever with this ever so fast moving pace of technology, we gotta kind of lean them to or just see if there's a general interest in this STEM programs and stuff like that. So
Yeah, that's true. My son likes I watch him in the cell phone that they got, and he's pretty good at editing.
yeah.
Like even with the little basic editing app in the phone, he basically had my cousin's daughter and my godson reenact a scene from like a Wonder Woman or something like that. Like she was dressed up
Yeah.
and like she like hit my godson with the pole and he had the lightning boom him over here and
Damn.
yeah,
See?
Yeah.
it was. I was like,
See, that's the
what?
kind of
feel
stuff
like
we gotta
when you-
nurture early. You
I
gotta
feel like
nurture
when
that.
you start them young, like you said, just showing them, even if they might be might not be interested in it, but just showing them and seeing that, and then if they see people like us do it, they get excited. My niece is only 5, and she loves Ada the Scientist because she knows that's a black
yeah.
scientist. So she
Yeah.
sees that, and she's like, "Oh, I can do it." She gets the
Absolutely.
costume, she dresses up, she likes that.
Yeah, my daughter used
Then
to
Doc
like
McStuffins,
make stuff. Yeah.
a black doctor, she sees
Right.
that. So you see that.
So before we move on with the
Oh,
wage,
I'm sorry. My bad. Let me just say
Go
something
for it,
because
go for it.
Galen sent me a stat about what we were talking about
The
as
wage.
far as the wages.
Okay.
Usually I have my tablet on the ground,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he sent me notes. But he said this is a stat. He says women earn 83.1% of what men earn in the same job in 2022. Hispanic women are suffering the most from the gender pay gap, earning only 57 cents for every dollar a white man earns. It continues. It says Asian women are the only demographic, of course, of women who actually earn slightly more than white men at $1.01. Goddamn.
dang,
But that's another.
That's
Is it because
Yeah.
they know a lot
Another
of
conversation.
languages?
huh?
I wonder if it's because they know a lot of languages.
Well, they
That's a whole other conversation. Hold on. It says women 65 plus, of course, suffer the most from the gender pay gap, earning only 74.25% of what their male counterparts earn. And finally, women 16 to 24 are the closest to being equal pay to their male counterparts, earning 94.11% of what they do.
16 to 24.
Man.
Yeah, so which is what that's showing. That last stat is what we just talked about earlier. Those entry level positions. A 16-year-old
Yeah.
through 18-year-olds probably getting like entry level cashier job. So of course it's going to be kind of a little bit the same in that. And then people at 24 are just getting out of college, so their wages will probably be the same during college. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Dang.
I mean, and this
I
is
didn't even
hardcore
know
facts.
that-
Ain't no
yeah,
myth
yeah,
with
yeah.
facts.
It is.
Ain't no myth
Yeah.
with facts, y'all.
It's not just pay too; it's also leveling up because you can be in a job for so many years and they won't move you up.
Yeah, it's
can-
always
you can be
some
stuck.
jobs have a
You can just be stuck.
like a peak that you can. The highest you'll go is
Yeah.
supervisor.
Yeah.
You know,
But
and
sometimes
that-
they won't even give you that; they just let you be stuck.
No, so usually from what I've seen, you'll qualify for it. Let's say, because this is one thing I noticed with the pay gap, a man will be moving up in the ranks. He'll get to a certain area. They rather let him go and have the woman come up. I've seen it. I've
you-
seen it.
okay.
Like they're
So what you
but
just-
they're paying her. They're paying her less.
Right. Because
Also with the age, too.
They know, yeah, because a lot of women is not going to be combative on the pay.
Like a lot of people, most of us are unfamiliar with how to negotiate pay. You know?
Right.
Then
so
the age matters too.
well,
They
yeah,
can
that's
hire
why the
somebody
16 to 24
for
was
the same job for
was-
cheaper than
because you said 65 was about the worst.
They're the hardest right now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you tend to want to kind of have your stuff together.
And
by
then some people
65.
have to. I met this lady at my job. She's a 4th grade teacher, same age as my mom, about 65. My mom retired, 20 years education. This lady retired and came back teaching 4th
Yeah.
grade, and she wonders every day, why do I do this? But she's like, I have to.
Yeah. I mean,
That's unfortunate.
It is. I'm like, ma'am,
it's a lot of stuff
ma'am,
they
you should
don't.
be at home chilling.
So-
She's 65,
You can't, right? Because
but she can't.
Right. Can't afford it.
She
a
can't
lot.
afford it.
So everybody that's tuning in, right? This is one thing I would give y'all.
Yeah.
Get you a financial advisor and look into different why we can before you get to like 65 and stuff.
Yeah.
Look into these different portfolios where your money can grow
Exactly.
on
So you
interest.
can actually get a retirement too. So
Right,
some people
because
don't even get a retirement.
the 401k is it's trash, really. If you think about it, like you can say your company can match you 5%, but they're getting their 5% out of your 401k. So you can be like, oh snap, I got 12,000 in my 401k. I'm moving on up. Yeah, not really. It's not really 12. You know what I'm saying? So whatever your job, even life insurance, anything.
Yeah, that's
always
trash,
have
too.
a
Medical
outside
insurance with your job,
an
sometimes
outside
trash.
source of your
But once you
medical
leave,
and all
they
that
don't-
stuff too.
You don't get it.
Me and
no
my
more.
wife
That's
just
all.
had a meeting with our financial advisor yesterday, actually,
If
and
you can afford it, so how much? Before we move on,
but
to
we
the
got
next,
life insurance through them. It comes
Okay, so that's
Must be
so
nice.
it's kind of like a privileged thing.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
so if you can afford it, or if you have life insurance,
Yeah.
or have some type of package that it comes with a financial advisor, then
Yeah.
God bless, because some people can't.
some people, yeah, which
and,
is
and
important.
that's why I feel like I'm more of a progressive, right? So I guess we can go. I'm about to like do a sidebar, and then we can continue
go
the
for it.
conversation.
Go
So
ahead.
me and Garland, the producer at Vipod Media, again, make sure you like and follow Vipod Media on YouTube and Facebook.
You heard him.
But we talk about
Like, share,
I talk about reparations a lot. You know what I'm saying, with him, and
We deserve 'em.
We have these conversations.
Let's get 'em.
And one of the things that comes to top of mind to some is like, well, god dang, what they gonna do with all this bread if so something you just mentioned was like, there's so many different research groups out here that's doing a lot of good work on figuring out the numbers and how to make this money stretch for eons and plenty of
Yeah.
time. And some things that come to mind is like, financial advisors that can be associated with families and things of that nature, to help them with these things that you mentioned. Because again,
That's if
some
they
people
want
just
it.
don't have it.
Because if we give reparations, a lot of people are gonna do the same thing they did with these PPP loans.
Yeah.
How you think we should get those? You think it should be a lump sum, or you should get
So much a month?
Like a check, or you should be able to choose?
I think you should be.
Because I seen I don't know if you watched 85 South Show.
Yeah.
So I seen the one with Tariq Nasheed
Yeah.
on there, and he was talking about that. And Carlos Miller was like, "Man, we don't need no reparations. People is gonna go and do this.
That's
He
what
was
I
like,
said, like
"But
the
for what?
PPP
That's
loans.
their money. They can,
That's
They can do what they
that's
want
my
with it.
that's my
as long as you don't do the stupid stuff with your money."
That's my thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, my thing is like, there's so many things that can happen when it comes to like education, maybe taxes, or bigger breaks on that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's gonna be such a battle. But I think the data, the data is there. The real world numbers are there. You know what I'm saying, regarding what was built, how the nation was built. Inventions, patents that were stolen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all of it is there. You know what I'm saying? So I think whatever people want to do with their money, let them do with their money. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I know, there's this thing in economics called trickle-down economics. I think we're going to see the real trickle-down economics if capital wasn't, if we were to get some money like that.
Yeah. Right.
Meaning like, trickle down, meaning like when we start businesses, we generally hire people that look like us,
Right.
or the closest ethnic group
Exactly.
in our proximity, which could be Hispanic, Mexican, or other groups. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So we're gonna see a real, true dissemination of the wealth of the reparations for a very long time. You know what I'm saying?
I think with that too, a lot of the hesitation is maybe
It's
the
100%
wealth gap.
fair. People, white folks are terra-fucking-fied. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Like, that there's nothing to it, because they'll sit here like, oh, they don't know what to do with their money. I mean, some of us are gonna be making jokes about it. Oh, what we gonna do when we get the bread?
Right, right, right.
But like, it's a lot of folks, man. It's a lot of folks in here that's gonna do
Good.
really dope things with this money.
Do you
man.
feel like reparations should be taxed?
no.
what?
I don't think so, but I'm just wondering.
I feel like shit. We get reparations and a fucking
You got
no taxes for next 100 years.
Right.
On top of that,
if it's no need to, so it's really no need to tax it,
Do
because
you feel like
they're gonna get
every black person deserves it?
family.
it.
Do you
Yeah.
feel like you have to be 100% black if you have a percentage of black?
What you mean?
We talking about. So I know you're going. So this is a big talking point in the reparations thing. Like,
So like how we're 100% black. But if you got a baby by like a Hispanic person, your child is mixed. Do she get all the she
shit,
deserve?
to be honest, a lot of them were in slavery with us.
I think this is the thing.
Hispanics, yeah, but I'm talking about a white person wasn't. So
No,
what do you?
what?
So
They
what do you
get-
say?
Look, here's what we know: is some white people are gonna get reparations too. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But my thing is like, I don't want to let that deter us from getting reparations.
No,
Exactly.
fuck
No,
no.
I'm not saying it shouldn't, but I'm just wondering, like, if just imagine, like, you go get your check, they were like, you 2%.
No, I don't
We got to
think-
cut
because
your
we
check.
we know why. It's
I know,
not-
but I'm just saying.
Not y'all, but like, when
Or
I
they
be-
give you stimulations, like, if we give you this, you know, your mama, she white, she can't touch it. Your grandpa
Nah.
can't on your
No,
mama's
I
side
think he was
can't
saying
touch it.
family. So for
But
families,
yeah.
family,
It's like,
so-
you know, just
Yeah.
like how everybody got the check for the families and shit like that.
Right,
Oh
right.
yeah, like okay,
You know what I'm
during
saying?
the pandemic,
Like,
that makes sense.
So even if like, so say if it's not a family, or it's not like a mom, dad, and a kid, or mom, dad, 2 kids, or whatever, like, my thing is, it's gonna be such a positive impact.
Yeah.
Like,
Really
it's the
is.
money people are gonna be sad that they maybe didn't get a reparations check or whatever, but the impact is gonna be so, everybody gonna touch
Benefit.
paper.
Exactly.
Everybody go. People. I don't know how to like describe or fully like.
Because you
make
might
people
get hired
understand
by
that.
someone that's gonna.
Yes,
That's what he
business
was saying
Or
with the
you
business
might.
opportunity.
Yeah.
we're
business
gonna
opportunities.
we might start like the biggest fintech technology company in the planet in America. We might start a
Exactly.
black chat GPT. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like we got to. My thing is the way technology and things, the pace that things are moving now, the way the political spectrum is now, is like, it's kind of like now or never kind of vibe. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
I think some
because-
people in California is already getting some, right?
yeah, because again, some states are doing the right thing when it comes to property
Ooh,
that
Texas
was
is-
seized.
We in
by-
a red state.
Texas
Come on,
is-
sir.
Yeah, we in a red state. You know what I'm saying?
Come
But
on, sir.
what we do know is, 2043 is upon us, which scares white people to shit. Where a lot of, again, as this states right now, my favorite stat is some of the kids in this, most of the kids in this country that is under 18 are majority non-white. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that is terrifying, but I don't know why though. They shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Because from mixed children and interracial marriages and black people having, like, it's a beautiful thing, but
Because
people
we're
are
the
just
pure race.
immensely terrified of this. So I mean, I don't know.
Well, they know they're gonna get. It's almost like we're gonna get bread out, so we need to hold on as long as we can.
Exactly.
Which is kind of like the trying to prolong the inevitable. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know you finna lose, but you're gonna keep, like, I guess, boxing. Like, you know your eyes closed,
Yeah.
you dizzy, but you still trying to fight because you just.
And see, my thing is, like, as we get closer to this year, right?
You said 2043.
Yeah.
So by then,
Major-
you saying most of the people gonna be
90%.
brown skinned
yeah,
folks.
a high percentage. So
Wow.
So Drake
my-
brown or
no, just people of, it's gonna be majority people of color. in this country.
no? Just
But like, I think my thing is like
We don't need no
gearing
more
up for
pretty
this time period. It's like that's when I want to start talking more about, like, whether it be finances, business. Like, I always feel like every family in America should have a DB. Every family of color should have a DBA and
Yep.
an arm of something, or some type of weapon in their household. Like, every family should have a DBA or LLC in for the family, and also some type of weapon. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, gearing up for this particular time period, we start doing certain things like this to kind of, set everything in line. We got to start talking about getting involved in politics and on a local level.
And how
Actually,
voting
I-
is
I-
important.
most of the
I
kids-
don't mind doing it on a local, but politics I don't know, man. It kind
I
of.
know.
You know, getting
feels-
involved
'cause, like,
starts
why
off
are
with just
they-
voting or knowing who's
I mean,
in
not
office
even that.
too.
Just like trying to.
But knowing
because
who's
you gotta
in
know the
office is
history. You
Because
gotta.
you're not
That's you
saying
too.
it doesn't matter, right? You're not saying it doesn't matter.
I'm not saying it doesn't matter. It's just saying it's like it's almost to the point you're like, well, who do I vote for? That's why
That
I'm.
makes sense,
my
too.
thing is, like,
I
why
think voting-
are certain groups doing so much to gerrymander? Why are they doing so much to having these really invasive voting restrictions on states in the South? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, older
why?
people.
I think it.
All that.
I think so. On a local level, I definitely do think it matters.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters with the presidential. I think it matters with the Congress. but I think the presidents are pre-selected. I think it's gonna go whichever way that they want it to go. So with local, if we decide to be like, oh, we gonna sit down and we really gonna hit this local voting and get to it. I'm down with that because I can probably see that impact more than what the president is doing.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely, because like the people that are in our proximity have general much deeper impact on our lives. Like when it comes to like DAs and judges,
Right.
You know, that's very important. So I don't necessarily have the same sentiment as you regarding the presidential, but I feel like it's not even about us anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's about the kids I just mentioned that are non-white in this country, them having the general, because what we do know is majority of these kids are progressive, right? They don't give a damn about a gay couple walking down the street holding hands. They don't give a damn about, you know, what restroom, or, you know, they just like, just go to the fucking restroom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so they're generally a little bit more progressive when it comes to these certain things. And I think that's going to be the saving grace of this country, because like some of these kids are not going for it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They want to be involved. They want to be, they are aggressive. They not going to stand for somebody in the middle of the street saying racist shit or like picking on another group of, you know, they're not gonna go for it, and I fuck with that. So
yeah, they definitely got it's a Warriors mentality more now.
Yeah.
But I'm down with the local. I think our first season we interviewed 4 politicians?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Y'all did?
Yeah,
locals.
that was an
district,
experience. It really was. You get to ask some questions that, you know, a lot of people are scared to ask. Especially one of the politicians, when as he was running, his son had got into some trouble and got arrested. Right. So we got to ask, how does that affect you running? Do people ask you about that as you're running?
Right,
does that affect your campaign? As in, when you're in like the setting where they're debating, I feel like sometimes they're scared to ask those type of questions. They just keep it generalized. What are you gonna do for the city? What are you gonna do for your area, region? What are you gonna do for the kids? But they don't ask the personal questions like, well, if you saying that you want to help kids stay out the streets, but your son just got arrested, like, how do you, you know? We get to ask questions like that. So that got to give us, I guess, other people an insight on these politicians and what they're really thinking.
I think we came to the conclusion though. We probably won't.
It wasn't as interesting as we thought it would be, but it still helped a little bit. People got to see the other side of the politicians that they normally don't see.
Yeah, and I think,
you know,
we was the only ones that
kind of did that. And then we asked some other politicians to come on, but I think they're a little scared.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Because it's almost like
they're scared
so
about questions. You know?
We try to do we kind of when it comes to those type of things, we try to keep it like, I don't want to say the Breakfast Club, but those questions, like the questions that Charlamagne asked you, we try to get those because that's how people are going to get to know you versus just the surface level, the political questions.
Well, I'm going to start here and work my way to here and make sure that this city is straight. We don't want those politically that you rehearsed 10 times, 50 times over and over again.
Gotcha.
We're going to ask you something different. Yeah. What made you want to run? You sure you can handle this? Are you from the city? You sure you from the city? Because there's sometimes people want that thing from San Antonio.
What about the prostitute? You know, it's just a different question.
Yeah, like for real, like, hey, I'm a proponent of decriminalizing, you know, sex work. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say I'm a staunch abolitionist of certain things, but I'm a staunch like progressive. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta be able to use what's already established as far as government for the people. That's it. Like, that's where I'm not like none of that other conservative. I'm not with none of that shit, you know? But we got 10 more minutes, so I want to make sure we hit all the topics that
So before we get to the last topic, I had said at the beginning that I wanted to recognize the Super Bowl is coming up this Sunday.
Who you going for?
Who?
Fuck the NFL.
We know who you going for.
My team is the Eagles. So.
Oh, never mind. Okay, but, so he ain't got a team.
Fuck the NFL and racial normie.
No, he said that the last time he came up.
That's but NBA too low key.
So a couple of historic moments is Patrick Mahomes Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts is the first two African Americans to face each other in the Super Bowl.
Feliz Navidad or Happy Black History
And
Month.
then they're the two youngest,
If he had to.
two youngest African Americans to play against each other. in the
Exactly.
NFL.
Congrats
So
on
another
that.
thing is Jalen Hurts has a African American young lady,
Agent.
that's his agent, and she's one of the first African American women to actually have one of her clients play in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Okay.
And Philly has a female
Assistant also
making history.
Yeah,
Philly.
so
Look
yeah,
at y'all.
I ran across that on
We doing
on
good
Facebook,
so far,
and I was
Black
like,
History
wow,
Month.
that's
Everybody thought that was his wife. For a
right.
little
Yeah,
bit,
yeah.
But it's his agent.
I ran across that on Facebook, and I was like, man, that's
Something we gotta
dope
talk
to
about.
see that, but it's like NFL 50. How many years has NFL been in? 50 something years, but for this to be just now, that's a
I
long time
know.
for that to happen.
But-
no, it's
but-
not. He's not. They're not the only African American quarterbacks to be in the Super Bowl. It's just them together.
Yeah, yeah.
and being the youngest.
God, dog, the NFL is like one of the most racist fucking groups
It definitely is.
on the
Between
planet
that and
Earth.
NASCAR.
That and FIFA. I mean, the corruption.
FIFA
the
is-
fucking.
I've seen some
Man.
videos
I mean,
on FIFA. I didn't know it was
yeah.
that bad. I didn't.
I
know
don't
it
even
was
consume
that
the
bad.
NFL like that anymore. But
I
shouts
don't
out
really
to those
watch it, like-
guys.
I consume my team.
Yeah.
I don't watch NFL, but Super Bowl is always good for the food.
Yeah,
So,
that
I
should
mean,
be hidden. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
the Super Bowl is good for the
Finger-
food.
a lot
It
of
really
finger
do.
food.
I'm just saying.
Super Bowl be
That's
hidden.
when your parents really bring out the spread.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
saying.
Shit, the spread.
So
Spread. That's when the hot wings really be hot.
speaking of history, since we're
Yes.
talking about historic moments,
Love it.
the Grammys was I don't even know the other
Sunday.
day. Sunday. Okay,
The Grammys
so
was Sunday.
At
that
the
was
body shop.
If you don't know, a lot of people felt like Beyonce got snubbed for the album of the year.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Trevor Noah, shout out to Trevor Noah, he hosted it.
Yeah.
And then when he opened up the envelope and saw it was Beyonce, he found somebody white. And I said, it was
Yeah.
funny. Like, he didn't really think it's
Wow, I
like,
didn't
and he
know.
did. He found somebody
That's
right.
crazy.
It's good. Now,
That's hilarious.
What is
They didn't like the fact that Harry Styles made a comment saying that it's rare for us people
So
like
I'm assuming
us
he's
to get
gay.
the award.
Man, what was he saying?
I think he meant people.
He's-
I don't think
I-
he meant gay people.
I
I
don't
think
know
he
if
meant
there's
white people and then people. And plus, he's not from here. He's like from England or something like
He
that.
should have
too.
said England people.
But he
then.
didn't say that. So, and he hasn't made a comment on what he meant by that. But a lot of people
Okay.
took the context. And then if you saw the faces of everybody when they knew Beyonce didn't win, a lot of people's faces were shocked.
I'm surprised Kanye
They felt
didn't.
like she should have won. Really,
If
because
Kanye
she
was
won.
there, he
But we
would've kinda-
always
She
feel
did-
like
she did
Beyonce
make
should win.
history.
That's
what I
like no
was saying.
cap. Beyonce should win every
If
fucking
she's
thing.
in the category,
She still
Broke
made
record.
history, broke history, but still she should have won that.
had like
And then,
19 Grammys,
Chris
don't you got
Brown
like
got
19
upset because he lost against somebody saying he didn't know who this person was, but then he took that back and
Disrespectful.
apologized.
Yeah, that was.
But if you look, and there's someone broke it down on TikTok, if you look at the rules for winning R&B album or whatever category
It's
he
a
was
vote.
in, he doesn't make traditional R&B anymore. So that's probably why he didn't win.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
But-
That
Who
album
did he
was
lose
fire.
to?
The Breezy album. That's what.
Yeah.
That shit
But
was
and
fire.
also too, you also got to be current. Yeah, Chris Brown dropped some current music, but the one song that most people be bumping, he dropped 2 years ago. The one song everybody been bumping, the Robitussin and all that, Molly and all that.
Yeah.
He dropped that 2 years ago, which I didn't even know. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know he dropped that 2 years ago.
Well, that's his second time getting snubbed then.
But
But one thing about the Grammys, they did do the hip hop tribute, which they killed
I
it.
missed that.
First
Yeah,
the
dope. I
Rhymes,
gotta-
Salt and Pepper, Queen Latifah, all of them, they killed
Charlie
it.
Brown.
Jazzy Jeff on the ones and twos with the scratches killed it. What else? But they did not do good with the J-Lo. I don't know why they have J-Lo. J-Lo don't need
I
to
haven't
perform
seen that.
nowhere. She can just sit down and just be in the audience. I'm sorry. They had Smokey Robinson come out do My Girl. She tried to sing with him. Did not do good.
Oh, my
They had
God.
Alicia Keys come out. They did a song. They did decent because Alicia Keys was mostly singing. And then if you don't know,
So why was J-Lo the highlight of this? Well,
she was doing a Motown tribute? I don't know why they had her do a Motown.
Jenny from the
See,
Block.
first she was supposed to do a
Yes.
Whitney Houston tribute. People didn't like that. Then they had to
Hell
do it.
no.
But this is the second
Oh,
year.
hell no. Yeah.
This is the second
You
year
get
they're
like
doing
Jennifer-
a Motown tribute.
Jennifer
I don't know
Hudson
that
or
why they
something
didn't
to
learn
that.
from the first year. But what was dope is if you don't know, Boyz II Men, Wanye from Boyz II Men has kids. They're boys. They got to perform too with Stevie
Oh,
Wonder.
okay.
So that was dope. And I follow them, but they're actually
Damn.
dope singers. They have two sisters that sing too.
I
So
gotta
they're
go
dope.
watch this.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
probably
so
gonna
you
check
gotta
it out
watch
on
it. If you
YouTube
just look
and
up TikTok,
check out the
YouTube, the
highlights.
tribute, the hip hop tributes on there, their performances on there.
Didn't Viola Davis.
Yeah, she got the EGOT.
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 Yeah.
If you don't know
When
what
they
that
said
is,
that, I was like, "What? Then the
if
hell
you know, that's
is this?
that's
She
a
got-
Emmy,
she got a
Grammy,
Fox.
Oscar, and Tony.
Yeah, I think Jamie Foxx got an EGOT too. I think.
Yeah, it's not. I think what's her name? I see her face. She's on The View. Whoopi Goldberg is another one that got the EGOT. Cause I looked up how many African Americans won.
Oh wow, okay.
I really,
Shout out
I
Whoopi.
thought
I didn't know
Denzel was
that.
one, but he wasn't.
No cap. That's
Denzel's
prestige.
not even one.
Wow.
I thought he was
you gotta-
one, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
So we had, so sidebar
Uh-oh.
before we cut off, we had a debate on actors. So we was
Oh,
saying
Jamie Foxx and Will Smith, right? Who
it
you
was
got?
it was Jamie, Denzel, and Will,
No,
the talented.
who you
who's-
got?
Who's the
Minus
most
the bio.
talented?
We can count biopics, but minus Jamie singing. The singing don't count because
Okay,
Jamie
'cause
got singing.
I go Denzel, Will, and Jamie. I think
Denzel,
a lot
Will,
of people
Jamie?
would agree with that.
I had my
I think they would agree with that.
me personally, I had Jamie at the top. Jamie is so.
I watched the
He
Jimmy
can- he
Fox
can
show more.
cover-
I watched Jimmy
But
Fox
I'm
show
saying,
and I watched the
as far as
Fresh
like
Prince.
acting go, he can
but-
cover a wide spread of things. Will Smith too, though.
Yeah.
So, but I
And
think
then one of the lines that Jamie Foxx said in his series ended up being a producer tag. Hey, yo, Pierre.
Pierre, you
Oh,
got
yeah.
that?
Yeah, Pierre, you got that.
yeah, that's dope.
With that man
Let me ask y'all
blind.
this and wrap it up real quick, right?
Right.
So, are y'all mad? What do y'all sit when it comes to like mad, angry, or indifferent about the Sam Smith performance at the Grammys? Because white people have lost their mind
Man.
over this dude. I mean, I'm talking about the shit I was seeing.
I feel like-
the battle was not visible. It's not with flesh.
Well, you know, white
It's not
people.
with flesh.
You know, white people lost
Like-
their minds when Macklemore performed and then ended up with the kiss at the end of the two couples. You remember that one year?
Shit, I thought you was talking about what's my guy name?
Oh,
Lil Nas X.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
but there was
yeah.
a year where Macklemore performing some song and it wasn't in the rehearsal, and at the end, the two couples that were gay ended up kissing, and they went all, oh my gosh, they kissing.
They're putting it in front of my kids' face.
Exactly.
what did Sam Smith? You
So
say he had
basically,
devil
He
horns?
dressed up in a devil's suit. He had some
The
lady,
song is
right?
called "Unholy," y'all. God
Oh, okay.
damn.
He had a
Yeah,
lady
yeah.
in a
It's in
cave
context then.
pretending to like whip a devil or something like that. It was like
Yeah,
a
he
lot
was
of
So
weird
what's the
shit.
difference between that and what Lady Gaga would do?
There ain't no difference.
Well, then the year Nicki Minaj, remember, almost had a seance where she was floating in the air. You don't remember that year? Go look that up. There's when Nicki
seance.
Minaj was doing Dungeon Dragon or something, whatever that song is. So she was doing some song and she was laying back and they had her floating in the air. And So what's the difference
Look,
between that?
if y'all go on TikTok live or TikTok, we got these conservatives. I mean, they just don't. They just scared of every fucking thing.
But I also
man.
feel like
And I
a
know
lot of
there's
this
some
stuff
black
is in
folks that don't
marketing.
fuck with that shit either. But listen, man, like I'm not in the group of othering folks, man. Like I don't think there's an agenda. Like all I know is there's nefarious actors
and marketing.
at play.
And marketing.
You know what I'm saying? And marketing, capitalism. That's the thing that we're talking about here. But do I think there's some type of, they're trying to turn my kid gay. God damn it. They had a fucking trans woman on the fucking, I don't think that. Like,
Well, they didn't like that. They also didn't like the fact that Maverick City performed with Quavo. And because Quavo was doing a
Who?
tribute. Huh?
Who?
it's
Quavo?
Maverick City. It's a
Maverick
young
City, he
gospel
sings
group.
with Quavo. It's a gospel choir. And
They
they
kinda
sung back
fire
up with
him.
Quavo. And Quavo did a tribute to his brother that died. And he was
Well,
saying,
shit.
do y'all remember when we were smoking
nephew.
blunts?
DJ Khaled.
Do y'all
did a
remember when
whole
we were
thing
smoking
with
blunts?
Beyonce.
I think
Do
it's
y'all
because
remember
it's a
when
gospel group they did.
Yeah, they like the fact that he
Oh,
was
okay.
singing backup when he was saying, "Do y'all remember smoking blunts and all that?" And they're like, and then not only that,
Oh,
too,
yeah, 'cause
Maverick
church
City-
people don't smoke.
But Maverick City also had an issue where they recently kicked out one of their members because their members were doing some stuff that was like deemed unholy. But they're like, "Oh, you go ahead and do this." So maybe you can.
That's why I
bring
don't
your-
like this. Everything is contradictory and it don't. That's why I don't partake in under this shit, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, yo, I'm focusing on morality. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no agenda. There's no look. What we do know there's agenda is food. God damn it. Like a lot of shit that's banned in other countries.
No, that's-
we eat here every
I don't
fucking
even think
day.
it's an agenda. I think that's just straight up
My bad.
assassination.
It is.
Capitalism. I'm trying to tell everybody, goddamn,
Yep.
it's not sustainable. But I don't know.
And Lil Nas X is not really gay.
We wrapping up right now, Garland. But so where do y'all fall in line with?
I don't.
No
I feel like
comment?
it's.
No
I
comment?
feel like
I
his
don't care.
performance was.
Okay.
It is what it is.
If,
He
if
did
the
it.
song is called Unholy and he's dressed
Exactly.
up,
He did
that's
the performance. He was performing.
It's expected. Just
But
like
I
if
feel
somebody
it's
if somebody got a
marketing,
song
like, Lil
called
Nas X
Holy,
does stuff for marketing. I don't think Lil Nas X.
I don't
is
think
really
he's gay.
We talked about this. We don't think he's
I
gay.
don't think
It's
he's
marketing.
yeah.
Because
But
we
if he is, fuck it.
If he is,
Yeah,
fuck it.
'cause
That's,
he-
not,
but I
that's,
feel
that-
like-
that's the beautiful thing about it. If he is gay, fuck it.
Yeah,
So
it's
think
not-
about
it has
it.
nothing to do with me.
If Sam Smith would have did a regular performance, do you think we'd be talking about it?
No.
He did his job.
No, because
Exactly.
the dude is non-binary. Somebody will be
'Cause
like,
he did
oh,
his
they got
job.
non-binary folks performing at the Grammys. Now, there goes the fucking
I ain't
hood.
never knew
But
what
even if he
non-binary
wasn't,
binary
if he did
was.
it,
I
let's
thought
say
that
he
was
was
a math
straight.
equation.
But I feel like if he did a regular performance, we would not be talking about it.
yeah, I mean that's why Janet
But
Jackson.
That's why he does what he did,
got her
so we can
boob
talk
ripped off.
about it. People do stuff so we can talk about it. That's why Harry Styles said what he said, so we can talk about it. That's why people dress the way they dress, so we can talk about it.
At the
I
end of the
agree.
day, I agree.
I agree with
If
that.
you're doing normal stuff, we don't care. We ain't talking about it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well,
So that is. Well, I'm sorry. Anything else?
no, I was gonna say either way, if the song was called Holy and he came out there dressed as a
Nun.
angel or some
nun,
shit, somebody would have fucking got mad about that.
Oh my God! Because he's
Jesus not
'cause
white.
He's
He's black
a
with a
non.
chick.
Because
He's
it would be
a
like a
non-binary
non-binary
angel.
You can't wear the fucking Christ.
Then
on
you're gonna be like, Jesus ain't white. He's black with a cherry coal.
Yeah, they would find you find something. They find
Jesus
something
got
wrong with no
dreads.
matter what you do.
Well, guys, I want to thank you guys so much, and for everybody that was watching. Again, this was the Well You Asked podcast
Yes,
takeover. We
yes.
talked about everything that they were originally going to talk about on their show. They came through. The idea for this whole month, the next month, is to have different groups kind of come in.
And we was the first. So
We set the
first.
bar up high, so y'all better come with it.
We had a really nice conversation.
All
We
y'all
don't wanna
are
hear no-
followers
We don't
after
want to hear all
this.
them sex topics. Come with the bar.
Yeah.
Just throwing shots
Black
out
people,
there.
fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Love our people. But anything y'all want to say in closing? You know what I'm saying? I
You
had
got
fun.
your
It was
shout
great.
outs.
Shout
Just
out.
shout out to my wife and my kids. Shout out to T1. Shout out to my podcast family. Shout out to Live at 5 Studios.
Plug.
Yeah, you know. And that's it, man. I'm just thankful right now. I'm just thankful.
Shout out to my podcast team, T1. Shout out to my U3 radio team, my Holations podcast team, the Sex Podcast. Go ahead, check that out. New episode drops every Friday.
Safety first,
You know,
you heard?
hopefully we'll be in here soon. You know, you never know. Praying that into existence. Shout out to everyone that support us. Shout out to all the black podcasters. This is Black History Month, like Where You Ask, If This Mic Could Talk, WellYouAsked, Amzai with the San Pluto.
I'm a show though.
Shout out
but go
to
ahead.
Not the Same podcast out of St. Louis. FOH podcast, they're over there in Atlanta area. They got FOH After Dark stands for fuck out of here. They have 2 sessions. They have sports conflicts. They have a couple podcasts.
Yeah.
And they also have their own media team. They did 2 movies. One movie is called Unexpected.
Damn.
The other one is called My Ex Is My Next.
Damn.
Go ahead, check that out. Unexpected is on Tubi. So it's a dope movie. Shout
I
out.
might
I
got a
don't
movie
think
on
any
Tubi, I
other
don't know.
black podcasters I missed. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Charge it to my mind, not my heart. But I know
Yeah.
y'all. Oh, what's the one? The one down here with IQ and them. I can't think of their name.
Cheap suit.
Yeah, shout out to Cheap Suits. Shout out to Inglorious Rappers. They just changed their name to a new podcast
I
name.
did see that. Break room something?
Yeah, the Break Room. So they're another black
okay.
podcast. I think all the other black podcasters. If I don't forget you,
Multicultural.
shout out to y'all. Deadass with Kadeem and Ellis. I love watching them. Shout out to them. They dope people, married couples.
Who?
You know. Kadeem and Ellis.
You got to link me
Oh,
to some
my-
of these
my wife,
because I want to have them come in, yeah.
Oh
My
yeah,
wife
definitely. If you go to our Instagram, we did that last year for Black History Month. We dropped the black podcast every
Okay.
month, every
Damn, I
day,
gotta
every episode.
Scroll
So
well.
I'll send it to you. I'll send you the information.
Okay,
I got you.
appreciate y'all.
Scrolling
And then
for 6
also
days.
on my U3 website, you should see all the podcasts listed there too. I try to support people when I can. But yeah.
Thank y'all for all that y'all do, and thank y'all for being a part of the first
Definitely.
ever takeover
Yes, sir.
episode.
Now you gotta be on our show.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all have me on, man.
Even a
for
sex
sure.
podcast. Don't be scared.
No, I'm not.
You know.
I'm not.
Married people
I'm
be
gonna plead the
scared.
fifth a lot, but you know,
It's crazy because that's how I found him and Travis looking for a co-host for a sex podcast.
I remember that story.
Yeah, so that's
But Garland, thank you so much. Make some noise for our producer and the owner of Vipod Media, man. Always making us look crispy and good and letting us run over time. But yeah, take us home, man. Y'all have a good night, and until next time, peace. Remember this?
Oh Lord. How old are you?
Everything just, man, go get
Everybody
that.
in church.